is directed or stars Matt Damon, William Dafoe, and among others, and is a Chinese-produced American film that stars Matt Damon as pretty much a bandit or some kind of
he's like a European bandit. Him and his partner are out to look for trade to get black powder for their guns,
and they're pretty much they're pretty much getting attacked by these creatures. Well, at first they're being attacked by these people that are after them and stuff, and then they're being attracted by this creature at night, and
kind of like dragons, but they kind of resemble dragons, but they're not really dragons because they don't have wings or blow fire or anything.
Right. And pretty much as they go across their journey across the lands, they come across the northern Chinese
Great Wall,
which is known as the Great Wall of China. And we get backstory involving how this wall was built to keep out a lot of enemies, and it's over, I believe it was 60,000 feet tall.
Yeah, it's like thousands
or 60,000 feet wide as far as the actual layout of it.
Yeah.
So, and they have to they go to the general to try to convince them to try to see what this is, to basically learn about what this creature is about and learn more history. And I've been, from seeing the trailer of this film, at least in 3D, it actually kind of got me curious because seeing it in 3D made it like a different experience, like a cool experience from the trailers, because it seemed like one of those movies that it's built for 3D theaters.
Well, here's a little thing. When I first heard it coming, a lot of people were, it was weird seeing Matt Damon's name in it because it was all Chinese, and people were like, well, it's just whitewashing, but people don't understand that. No, it's not, because it's actually written in the story that they're actually European migrants wanting to ask China if you guys got any goods to sell us, and little do they know, when these creatures start attacking, they're forced to help the Chinese dynasty fight these creatures.
Right.
They're, help them out. So it's got nothing to do with whitewashing.
It was basically taken out of context.
He's not playing an Asian character.
No, it was taken out of context, because when the first trailer came out, everybody said, oh, you're telling me that Matt Damon lived in China this whole time? Yeah. It's like, no, he's an outsider that's not from China.
And it's sad that I still see the comments going like that. Like, you need to, don't judge it until you see the damn movie. Yeah. Because a lot of people are saying, I refuse to see whitewash movies. It's not whitewashing when it's a movie that pretty much the entire behind the screens are Asians, and they wrote in a European mercenaries. This isn't supposed to be true story. It's about creatures.
Right. There is a story there. I mean, in real life, yes, the Great Wall has a history about how it was built and everything, but that's just like the bare basics as far as that. This movie is a complete fantasy.
It's a sci-fi fantasy.
It's a fantasy film that's not meant to be really taken as a historical movie.
Yeah. So that's where its marketing was getting bad. So a lot of people don't want to see it, but. And whenever we seen the trailers, we were watching a 3D movie. I believe it was Assassin's Creed when we seen the trailer. And I will tell you right now, that 3D, I was like, oh my god, I gotta see this movie now. First, I was thinking, okay, January, February release, these type films generally aren't that great.
Right. And what's sad is our theater, we were only able to watch one showing of it because our theaters here in where we live at, they're pretty much dying down in 3D, so it's rare occasions where we get to see 3D films.
Yeah. They're pretty much, I guess, to save money. I don't get it, because 3Ds are the ones that generally you can't even fit inside the theaters. I don't know why would you want to downgrade on 3D.
Right.
I mean, that's just, economically, that's stupid, because, you're just, especially when you have another theater that wants to keep the 3D still going, you're going to lose money that way.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. So it was a bitch getting in, finding a 3D show, and we finally seen it in 3D.
And basically the story goes where Matt Damon's character, William, has to protect, it's him and his friend who are having to help the Chinese out with, the Chinese dynasty out with protecting them from the creatures. And as the movie goes along, you start to discover a little bit more about Matt Damon's character, and the film is pretty much straightforward from there.
Yeah, there's nothing real, that was, we'll get to our cons in a minute, but it is probably one of the most just straightforward movies I've seen in a long time. It's just so straightforward. It just gets into it and says, here you go.
Yeah, it gives you the bare basics.
It does. There's no build up really to a backstory. I mean, what little they have, they say it in just a few minutes.
It's in my text at the beginning.
Yeah, it's in text
And
pretty much.
but first I'm gonna here are my cons I have. I really enjoyed the 3D in this movie a lot. Every scene is I'm sorry, my pros.
Yeah.
I'm first going to get to my pros. I love the 3D in this movie a lot, especially every scene we see where they're throwing arrows, they're throwing harpoons, you see shots of the mountains, everything that you can think of in 3D is here.
The cinematography visuals are great. The 3D, I highly recommend it. The 3D was freaking awesome. About time to see a movie that says it's 3D and it's actually 3D throughout the whole film, because we've been getting a lot of movies that put it in 3D, and I swear to God, I can only count 10 minutes of 3D. This movie, full 3D throughout from beginning to end.
And I'm pretty sure it was shot in 3D too.
Yes, and finally it was shot. You know, it's hard to find shot 3Ds. A lot of them are just
converted to...
You gotta pay attention because they'll say 3D, but they weren't shot in 3D.
Right.
So.
And also, like, as far as on a technical standpoint, the actual look of the actual time period they set in, where it's showing the ancient times, where it said
they captured the dynasty.
The dynasty
I
feel,
like that.
and I like the look of the wall itself.
Yes.
You know, it covers like a great wall of the mountains.
Well, yeah, because it does.
And you also get to learn more of the different types of soldiers we see of this Chinese group.
Yeah, because Chinese dynasty was a interesting, you know, army back in the day.
Yeah, they came in different colors.
You got different like branches. They have everybody color coded. Everybody's got a certain method, and they were quite intelligent with technology back in those times.
Yeah, and the way they set up their troops with having to defend the bases, they come in these different forms. Like, for example, you have the women
that jump off
the.
So I'm saying the technology.
And also they're the ones that have the spears when they're going off the wall and everything. And then you also have the parts where they're throwing fireballs at them, and those are pretty much their own. Like, I think they're red. I think those are the guys in red.
Yeah, that was my
basically.
That's a big pro. And another add pro I like to add. I did like Matt Damon and his little Spanish friends, comedy.
Yeah, their banter back and forth was great. Yeah. I like their chemistry together a lot, because this film actually adds some comedy factor that actually got me like smiling through. I was like, you know what, them two alone, they make the movie for me along with the 3D.
Yeah.
So every scene they're in together with their banter back and forth, it had me going for a long time. And
that was my pros. All right,
I was going to also say that I also enjoy parts where it involves them having to learn more about some of the different ways to take down the creatures. I thought was interesting with how basically the actual creatures are fighting. They kind of I didn't think they overdid the CGI too much. I thought that the CGI now in some of the long shots, I'll give you that, because on some of like the wide shots where they're kind of in the background, they do look like there's something straight out of World War Z. But when you see them like more up close, they look fine. I especially the Queen she kind of looked like a cross of the Xenomorph from Aliens. Yeah, like the actual Queen from that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Now getting into my cons, I want to start out with the big con. For one, let me start out this. It is extremely standard. Like, so standard. Get to the point. Not trying to be long. Not trying to build up a big story to this. Not much of a history with these creatures. We go in, the shit's already going down. Yeah. So it's kind of really kind of like storytelling. It's just like,
it's very paper thin.
It's very paper thin. Like, you could tell like the director didn't want to do too much with this, or the writer. They just wanted to do something, just get it out there.
Right.
So I was kind of a little disappointed in that, because the creatures, we really don't get much but just a quick tall tale. That's pretty much it.
It is your bare basics of what represents a fun action film. And that's what it is. This movie's fun, but like you said, with as far as the story, I felt like because they don't really elaborate much on the history of the wall itself.
I agree on the whole wall thing. I already know the history of
that.
I'm
talking about elaborating more on some of the actual Chinese dynasty. Like, we don't really get to see much backstory involved with them.
Because it is called the Great Wall.
That's what I'm saying. You're expecting more of a story involved with that, at least to get more of why they're feud, or where exactly... Seeing more about these creatures and where they came from.
These creatures,
because they also elaborate, they have a 60-year history as well especially William Dafoe's character, who I also have a problem with because I felt like his character was completely pointless.
I was going to get to him in a second. My thing, I want to talk about the creatures real quick. The creatures, I didn't like how they all looked like they were pretty much, they kind of remind me of Willy Wonka's, or Charlie's, Tim Burton's Charlie and Chocolate Factory, where they all look the fucking same.
Yeah.
There was no, like, cool, like, giant or ones with extra
They did
body
show, like,
armor.
the kind of the giant ones, but they're, like, because they're protecting the queen, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, they didn't have variety, so it was like they're all the same.
Yeah.
That kind of was a bummer, and like you said, William Dafoe, his character, for a big guy like him, he was really pointless. Like,
yeah,
he
they
didn't
don't
go anywhere. It's like he was just there, then he said, I've been here 25 years, then he just fucking leaves, and then, I'm not going to spoil what happens when he leaves, but that's it. It's like,
you could have casted anyone in that role and it wouldn't have changed nothing other than the fact that it's William Dafoe.
Yeah.
You know, because really, if they would have gave us more about his character, I probably would have understood, but his character just stuck out where he just really didn't have a purpose.
Like, you really didn't need to get a talented person for that role. You could have got Tom, Dick, and Harry to play.
Yeah, or you could even have the character role. He could have just completely cut out.
Yeah, really, the character didn't need to be in this fucking film at all. He had zero purpose.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
I don't know why this was even written in. So that was a big problem right there for me.
Yeah, and another thing, too, I got was... I did feel like the movie is trying to be like kind of have an emotional oomph in some scenes. Like, especially, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but when one character dies, I was kind of like, well, since we don't really get to really see much with this character, I kind of had a problem with that because I didn't really feel nothing out of it. Because they represented it like it was supposed to be a big thing.
Well, it's standard story writing. You don't get no emotions for anybody in this. But here's another thing I noticed that I was kind of about. The movie's called Great Wall, and it's Great Wall up until the end, and they're not in the Great Wall.
Yeah,
it's like,
it kind of shifts to a different location.
Completely.
Now, granted, when they're actually taking down the climax, it was cool because you know the way it was shot. It's just that you would expect it to be taking place at the actual wall, but instead they shift somewhere else. It's like, no, that's kind of defeating the whole purpose. Yeah. So I did have a problem with that because basically, on like a technical standpoint, this movie is like a cross. If you took the Helm's Deep scene from Two Towers, Lord of the Rings Two Towers, take that and basically cross it with the kind of the creatures from Starship Troopers. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of. Yeah. But it was fun though. I did say it was still fun. It was fun, and I would say I would recommend you for the funness see it in 3D because I could see seeing this just in 2D would kind of really be kind of boring. Yeah, it would have really killed. Believe it or not, the movie's 3D is what kept me really deep, like, fun, because they're, like I said, 3D is everywhere. It's like all the time. If it wasn't for that, I would probably have a hard time liking this film with 2D. Yeah. I'm not saying it would be terrible, it's just, I don't know, I think the 3D is what saved it. It added more depth, and also it added more of what you expect from this kind of movie, from the way it's shot. Yeah. So, overall, with that being said, I enjoyed it, and with that, I'm going to give the movie a 7 out of 10. Alright, I'm going to give Great Wall a 6.5 out of 10. Fair enough. What did you guys think of The Great Wall? Comment below, and if you like what you see here, you can check out more of our reviews here, and we'll be seeing you in our next one. We'll see you later.